Ever find yourself wondering what makes us laugh? Like, not just enjoying a good joke, but really asking why. Like, what's the evolutionary reason behind it?
Interesting.
Well, that's what we're digging into today.
Cool.
We're diving deep into this Spanish video essay, Why Things Make Us Laugh.
Okay.
And it's got a science expert and two comedians talking about it. So,
Wow.
we're going to get some good perspectives here.
Yeah.
So one thing they all agreed on was laughter is universal, right?
Right.
Babies, grandparents, even people across the world who speak different languages, we all laugh. But could this universal thing actually be evolutionarily advantageous?
Interesting.
It really makes you think.
Yeah.
Like back in high school biology, remember natural selection? A darker moth blends in better, survives longer, passes on its genes. Could humor be similar?
Exactly. And just like those physical traits evolving for survival, humans walking upright, for instance, some scientists believe humor itself might have a similar evolutionary basis.
So it's not just our physical selves that evolve, but maybe our sense of humor, too.
Right. It's fascinating, isn't it?
It really is.
One of the main theories is that laughter was our ancient social glue.
Okay, I like that.
Imagine early humans.
Yeah.
Laughter easing tensions, helping to resolve conflicts, creating stronger bonds within the group.
Stronger bonds, better cooperation. I mean, that means better chances of survival, right?
Precisely. Those social connections were essential for things like hunting, gathering, and defense against predators. Laughter could have been a key factor in our ancestors being able to thrive.
It's wild to think a good chuckle could have been the difference between a successful hunt and, well, becoming dinner.
That's a great way to put it. And it's not just about survival in a physical sense,
Mhm.
It's also about navigating those complex social situations that humans face. Because let's be honest, even back then, human interactions couldn't have been easy.
Totally. But even if everyone got along, I'm not sure every joke landed back then either.
Huh. Probably not.
It makes you think about those comedians of the League back in the 15th century.
Oh, yeah?
They were actually allowed by law to entertain in a city, but they couldn't stay overnight.
Well, why's that?
No one really knows for sure. Maybe people got tired of their jokes after a while. But it's interesting, right? Like, even back then, humor was recognized as powerful, but it could also be complicated.
That's a really fascinating example. It highlights how humor, while often a unifying force, can also be used to draw boundaries or even reinforce social hierarchies.
Totally. It's not just about whether something is funny, but who finds it funny and in what context.
Absolutely. And that nuance is something comedians throughout history have always had to navigate. It speaks to the power dynamics inherent in humor, which is something we still see play out even today.
Oh, absolutely. And it makes me think about how humor can be used to, like, diffuse tension, like almost a symbolic fight in a
Right.
way. Sometimes a well-timed joke can really de-escalate a tense situation before it goes too far.
Precisely. It's a way of acknowledging the tension without letting it completely derail the interaction. I remember one time in school, a classmate was trying to embarrass me in front of everyone.
Ooh, I've been there.
But I didn't get defensive. Instead, I just made this self-deprecating joke, and it totally shifted the whole dynamic. Everyone started laughing with me instead of at me. The bully totally backed off.
Wow. Talk about turning the tables. That's almost like another kind of survival mechanism, using humor to navigate those tricky social situations.
Exactly. And you know what? It ties into another interesting theory about laughter called the false alarm theory.
Okay, false alarm theory. Tell me more.
So the false alarm theory says that laughter evolved as a way to signal safety,
Okay, interesting.
particularly in situations that seem dangerous but aren't.
Oh, I see. So like a primal all clear signal.
Exactly. Imagine like our ancestors mistaking a rustling bush for a predator.
Oh, yeah.
A tense moment, right?
Yeah.
Could be dangerous. But then it turns out to be, just the wind.
Right, right.
And someone laughs. It relieves all the tension.
Yeah.
Signals to the group, hey, false alarm, everybody, we're safe.
It's like our brains overreacting to something potentially scary, and laughter is how we, like, hit the reset button.
Exactly. And that's shared laughter. It does more than just diffuse the immediate danger.
Oh,
It also strengthens those bonds within the group. It's a powerful way of saying, We're all in this together.
It really makes you appreciate how complex something as simple as a laugh can be.
Absolutely.
And speaking of complex, can we talk about all the different forms that humor can take?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Because what one person finds hilarious, someone else might not at all.
So true.
You've got slapstick, satire, those super dry, witty comments.
Right.
We all have our own, like, individual sense of humor.
Right. Absolutely. And that actually brings us back to something we touched on earlier, post-humor,
Okay, yeah.
which kind of leads into the uncomfortable, the awkward, the cringy,
Yes.
which some people find hilarious.
It's definitely a very particular kind of humor.
Yeah,
Are you a fan of shows like The Office or Fleabag?
I am.
They're full of those cringe-inducing moments that are somehow still really funny.
Yeah, I'll admit I had a hard time with post-humor at first.
Really? Okay.
I tend to, gravitate towards humor that's more lighthearted, more optimistic.
Sure.
A classic witty remark, I'm there for it.
Sometimes you just want to laugh without feeling emotionally drained afterward.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I've come to appreciate that post-humor has this ability to make us confront uncomfortable truths about ourselves, about society.
Yeah. It's a different approach, for sure.
It's a way of processing these awkward, embarrassing, sometimes even painful things that, let's face it, we all experience.
It's true. When you think about it that way, it can be kind of cathartic
Exactly.
to laugh about these things that everyone goes through.
Precisely. And that catharsis can be powerful. It allows us to, laugh at our shared human experience, even the messy parts, the parts we don't like to think about.
So it's almost like a form of social commentary disguised as comedy.
Exactly. And I think that's what makes it so interesting.
Yeah.
It's not just about getting a laugh, it's about using humor to explore complex emotions.
We've covered a lot of ground. Laughter as this social glue, as a tension reliever, as a signal for safety, and now we've got all these different types of humor.
Yeah, it's a lot.
From classic stand-up to the awkward world of post-humor. What a spectrum.
And what's amazing, after all the research, all these theories, the real reason why we laugh is still kind of a mystery.
I know, isn't that interesting? It's like this punchline we haven't figured out yet, even though we're laughing along the way.
Exactly. But there was this one thought from that video essay that really stuck with me.
Yeah, what's that?
They asked, are our funniest moments those that let us break free from the everyday, connect to something bigger than ourselves?
Wow. Now that's deep. It really makes you think.
It does.
Like those times when you laugh so hard you almost cry.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like you're tapping into something much bigger than yourself.
Exactly. It's this moment of pure connection, to the present moment, but also to something universally human.
Maybe that's the real beauty of it, right? We may never fully understand why we laugh, but even just trying to figure it out can lead us to some pretty profound places.
I think you're right.
So what does all this mean for you, dear listener?
Well, I'd say next time you find yourself laughing,
Yeah.
take a second to appreciate how complex it all is. The biology, the social dynamics, maybe even something we haven't quite figured out yet.
It's amazing when you think about it like that.
It really is.
And who knows, maybe you'll even discover a new reason why you laugh. Something personal yet connected to this universal thing we all share.
That's a great point. And on that note, that's where we'll wrap up this deep dive. Until next time, keep laughing, keep wondering, and keep exploring.
And hey, if you figure out the meaning of life, let us know. Just kidding. We'll be back next time with another deep dive.